Hey, gang, welcome. Here we go, gang. We got Tiffany and her dad, and we got John Collins joining us from Baton Rouge, Louisiana, and we got a great show for you today. We are going to start off our show today, though, showing you there's a chance to win an Okuma Sapphire spinning reel right now, but check out this commercial real quick that we just shot to show you about this reel.
Hey guys, this is John Bretz with Okuma Fishing Tackle with an awesome new introduction for 2026. This is a Sapphire line of spinning reels that we consider a crossover reel that be used for both freshwater as well as inshore applications. This reel is going to come in 9 different models. We're going to offer both standard and high-speed gear ratios. And a lot of that comes from the HDG Plus gearing platform. Because we have the big oversized diameter gears, we can now offer high-speed gears that's going to hold up to that bull red if you hook into a trophy fish. As far as the high-speed gear ratios go, we'll offer 2,500, 3,000, and 4,000 size high-speed gear ratios. All the rest will be standard gear ratios. We're going to have this series from a 1,000 up to a 5,000 to cover all kinds of different fishing styles. Now for inshore fishing, what we've done is we've equipped this reel with our Hydro Block 2 body. So that's going to protect the internal components to make sure you don't get water intrusion. It's going to be a great splash guard. It's not going to be waterproof, but it's going to be great for all-day fishing applications. It features 7 high-performance corrosion-resistant bearings, plus a one-way roller bearing that's going to give you that quick set and reverse function. Now what we did is that we made this reel braid ready, and we've done 2 different things. We made a braid ready spool that has a rubber spool band on the arbor to make sure your line doesn't slip. And the other thing that we've done is on the tapered bail transitions right into the line roller. That line roller features our DLC or diamond light coating system. And so that's going to be very hard to make sure you don't get corrosion, but it's also perfect for braided line applications. A couple other things that we've done with this reel, because we wanted to make a reel optimized for inshore as well as freshwater, is that it's equipped with the carbonite drag system. So if you over tighten that drag, you're not going to get memory. It's going to have great performance. We've also equipped this reel with flight drive to make it extremely smooth and durable, as well as our GSS, our gear stabilizing system, to make sure you have precision alignment in all situations. If you want to find out more information on this new awesome Sapphire reel series, check it out at a dealer near you or on OkumaFishingUSA.com.
And thank you very much for that, John Bretza. We appreciate everything that Okuma brings to our phenomenal podcast.
Hey,
but
I'd like to add
gang,
something to that Okuma statement, if I may. Okay?
Yeah, please do.
One of the things I do for the broader community is I put on subsistence angler fishing events. So SAFE is the acronym, and I reach out to the disadvantaged community, and I get subsistence anglers out on a pier, and we give them a rod and reel with line and a sabiki and a weight, and I have a talk with them about how to catch more fish to feed their kids tonight, and get them all set up and dialed in. Kind of the old adage of, if you give a person a fish, they eat for a day. If you teach them to fish, they eat for a lifetime. That's what we're doing. And I just want to say that Okuma has people at the top that have hearts of gold, and they really have helped me in doing this. And so just want to make a statement that I think Okuma as a company, its management are just really good people worth doing business with.
Absolutely, David. Thank you very much for that. That's awesome. So, gang, we're going to talk about all kinds of different things on the show today, but we want to talk with John real quick about what's going on in Kentucky right now. You were just telling Dave and Tiffany and I about this change in the guard. There's going to be a big change coming down from Kentucky, and hopefully the other states see what's going on. Can you talk about that for a little bit?
That ain't a problem. Like I said before, we've talked on the show before about the Pay Lakes and what they're doing, trophy fish and things like that. Well, evidently we stirred the pot enough to where Kentucky, actually we just found out about it, but the investigation that they've been involved in has been going on for 7 months. And
Oh,
yes,
really?
and hey, I agree with them. It takes that long. It takes that long, but I mean, because they want to make sure they get them when they get them, and it's fixing to get hot in Kentucky. That's for sure. They ain't had heat. They fixing to get it. It's coming. So it'll trickle from there down to here to everywhere else.
So what do you mean by gonna get hot?
Uh,
It's gonna
it
change?
might be some of this. That's the easy. That's the
All
easy way
right.
to put it.
There you go. Well, that's good to know. That the whole thing about taking those big giant catfish and putting them in a
Yeah,
pond is just
it,
so
it,
sad to think of.
it's miserable.
And then to kill them.
Yep. I mean, they was the least regulated, as Tank says, but yeah, it's gonna it's gonna create a serious trickle effect. Once they crack down on them, you know they're going elsewhere because you know how it is in the states. One state can't do better than the other, so they gotta step up their game and outdo them. You know,
Mm-hmm.
and that's the
Right.
way we like it. Stir the pot in one and get it started, and it'll come on down.
And so what you're talking about is putting catfish in these pay to catch
Yeah,
ponds. And you're putting 100-pound catfish in a 500 or tell us about how big these
on an
ponds are.
average, they're about 2 to 5 acres, and
Okay. And they put how many fish in these
on an
ponds?
average, they can go anywhere from 1,000 to 2,000 pounds.
Of of little fish going in this little pond.
Yeah, that's a lot for such a little bit of water.
That is sad to think that Dave, you and we're fighting to keep fishing open, but these people are fighting to kill fish. It doesn't make any sense, right?
Yeah,
I mean,
and
for God's sakes, we're fighting to keep fishing open and they're fighting to kill fish.
yeah, yeah.
Yeah,
And
part of good fishery
what
management is
Tank,
understanding their needs, and you talk about fish like that, boy, they have nutritional needs. They have ecological, they have habitat needs. They have so many needs that just from that brief description, I can see they can't possibly be met. And so, yeah, that's just destroying fish just
yeah,
for the sake of a one small business, and that's not good fisheries management. I'm proud to see that this is going on.
yeah. But it's been a long fight for them guys up there to actually get something started. And according to what Tank just commented, he done sent an update in the chat group. 10 warrants has been served.
Oh wow.
Yeah,
Good.
Wow.
those 10 warrants will spread the word like wildfire.
Well, yeah,
So that's a good thing. Hopefully, that in itself is a good start to changing a bad practice.
yep. That's a good move.
Yeah, John,
And
that's
to
so
think
so good for you to bring that to us. Thank you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
and to think these people are the same people they're on one side of the fence. They're telling you, hey, let's calm down our fishing. Let's keep everything calm. Let's not go out for these catfish. But on the other hand, they're on the other side of the fence saying, hey, come to our pond and catch catfish in our pond. And but even, okay, let's say that we're catching some fish and we're having some fun. How many fish do you think they kill just for because they can't regulate how many people are going to fish, so they put these fish in these ponds and then it gets super hot in this water and there's no oxygen and these fish are dying? It's pretty sad if you think
Yeah.
about it. If you care about fish at all, this should piss you off.
You
Yeah.
know, you think about the requirements, and you think about where it's done right. You know, we had Lance talking about there's tournaments and money involved and all of that. So there's organization. So it's not just the lake owner or that business. It's organizations that put on tournaments and whatnot. And then, you know, Andrew talked about, you know, if it's like $1,000 fine, that's going to do nothing. That's just
Yeah.
part of the cost of doing business. So to really make that right for the fish, as well as the broader range of people, other than the handful of people that fish the tournaments and whatnot, there's really a lot of science that needs to go into, you know, what can a pond realistically support, and where it's done right. Like you think about bass tournaments and whatnot, where there may be stocking involved, but they understand bass and they know you stock them at this age, and here's about how many can go into this lake, and it's aimed towards building a sustainable, keyword sustainable, bass fishery. And in this case, we're missing the most important word of all fisheries management: sustainability. They're
Yep.
creating something that isn't sustainable.
Yep. Now you see, they do have what they call pay lakes, but they're stocked with farm raised fish, and it's mostly channel cat. That's one thing. It's a farm raised fish. Its purpose was to sell, and they also have people come in. They'll charge them $15, $20 or whatever, come out there and catch as many fish as they want, and just pay the price for the weight of the fish. But a trophy pay lake it's totally different. There's a bunch of gambling going on with the trophy pay lakes, and it's all about that one big one. And they put a bunch of them in there.
So they
One
put
over-
a big fish in a little tiny pond.
Yeah. Yeah.
Oh my gosh, goes against everything we're told.
All of it.
I'm just keeping my mouth shut.
Let it fly. I mean, you can't do no worse than most of us have done already. So
Yeah, you know, Andrew writes over in the comments, "Don't let me on panel, I'll rant."
Right with him on that one.
So we may need a little of that, Tiffany.
but yeah, it's pitiful. You know, it really is for them to do that. But they got to crack down on the commercial fishermen, which it's legal for him to do. So what they're doing now is there's a size limit, and they're going to start hitting them hard on that size limit. If anything's a 16th over that size limit, that's a hefty fine.
So is it a slot limit?
It's a slot.
Got it.
And if they got anything over that slot, it's a fine. And from what I'm understanding, they're going to start hitting them hard with the fines.
It kind of goes against everything that we're standing for, though, because the fish are going to die anyway. So you're kind of defeating the purpose of the slot.
Well,
when you put them in these ponds.
Yeah. Well, what they're trying to do is they're trying to eliminate them from getting the ones that's over 24 to 30 inches. Because in certain parts of the Ohio River, it's almost impossible to catch a 30-pound fish. You really got to work hard to catch a 30 plus in that section of the river, because up there's a lot of locking dams, and it's considered as pools. So if you clean it out, it's not that easy for it to repopulate. Because, I mean, fish come from down here where we at, and they go up there. And it's harder for them to navigate through the lock and dam systems to restock them pools. So, I mean, when you got commercial fishermen, that's busting it and hammering it every day, it can hurt it quick.
That is weird. Doesn't
Yeah.
make any sense. Doesn't make any sense at all.
Yeah.
Huh. Huh.
You know,
Well,
for much of the country, when we're talking about managing fish, first we need fisheries management always starts with stock assessments. If you don't know what you got to begin with, you don't know how to manage it. So if we can figure out what we got, okay, then we can take a look at, like in the ocean, we look at El Nino and La Nina a lot, and how that changes reproductive capacity. But in whatever bodies of water you're managing, there are factors that will change periodically and that will affect reproductive capabilities. So you factor that into the science, and you kind of figure out, okay, over the next 3 years, here's how many babies we realistically expect this species to be able to make in these bodies of water. And then that helps you figure out the total allowable catch in order to have that magic word again, sustainability.
Yeah.
And then you take that total allowable catch and you divvy it up between commercial and recreational. And of course, in most cases, when we're advocating, commercial and recreational work together, okay, because we have many of the same problems. But here, of course, is where there's a rub, because commercial interests would like more of that total allowable catch, and recreational folks would like more of it. But that's the management job, to figure out where to divide it, where that line should be drawn. And then, if all done properly, it shouldn't be a concern about overfishing, because they can only catch so much, and that is part of the total allowable catch. So, John, the situation you're describing sounds to me like maybe that whole careful fisheries management paradigm is not being carried out quite the way it should. What do you think?
Yeah. But on an average with blue cat, when they spawn, it's usually somewhere around 10,000 eggs per pound of fish. So, but you got to, even at that rate, how many don't make it? That's the question. How many doesn't make it? It's a bunch of them that don't. Because come on, we're talking about catfish. They eat anything, even themselves. So it changes it, and they're not going to spend the money to do the study on it to do that, to find out exactly what's going on. Y'all deal with it every day up there with y'all.
Yeah.
They're just not going to do it because they don't see it feasible. But
if you don't,
Dave, we got ways of controlling pale acres if they come down. Trust me.
Yeah, you guys do. You're different. You're a different breed of folks out there.
Yeah. They come on this end. It's going to be okay.
What were you going to say, Dave?
No, I like what John just said. They will take care of things. As far as the management goes, if you don't start off by funding stock assessments, if you don't know what you have to begin with, there's no possible way to manage it correctly. You got to, if you're going to take fisheries management seriously, it has to be funded and staffed.
Yeah. And that's the part that you got to fight to get.
Absolutely.
But we'll keep keep them at bay as long as we can before it gets bad.
All right, let me show you guys real quick. If you guys want to go fishing anywhere in the world, you can go fishing with fishingbooker.com. Fishing Booker can take you fishing anywhere in the world. All you got to do is type in where you're at, how many people you got, and they'll do the rest. Here, check out this video, fishingbooker.com. for all your fishing needs. Check it out,
Well,
gang.
alrighty, gang. FishingBooker.com. If you're anywhere on the planet and you want to go fishing, and I know y'all do, or you wouldn't be watching this show, wherever you are, go to fishingbooker.com, put in how many people you have and exactly where you're at, and they'll find a boat. They'll find the best guides on the planet to take you out fishing to make your vacation even more than it already is. Fishingbooker.com has a guide and a boat for you and your family. Go to fishingbooker.com, and at the end of this, look at the QR code, use that QR code, and you'll save $50 off your next Fishing Booker.
Well, there you go. Fishingbooker.com. We had a little problem with the commercial there, but you get the gist of it. There's the QR code at the bottom of the screen. You can check it out. Go to fishingbooker.com, put in the QR code, and save $50 off your next fishing trip wherever you are on the planet Earth. They'll take care of you.
You know, just watching that,
So, hey,
watching that commercial, I think fishingbooker.com did a great job with their quality of putting that together and what they were showing. That was fun.
Yeah, that makes you want to go fishing.
That's the idea.
That makes you want to get out on the water and go catch a fish. So, hey, now let's talk about a little bit of fun stuff. Let's talk about these rods and reels and putting them together and getting out on the water and going fishing instead of always going after the negative first. We try to get that out of the way now. Let's talk about going fishing. So, Tiffany, what's going on in the rod building world?
Well, we've been having a lot of fun in all the classes that we've been doing. We just finished the diamond wrap and how to do a guide train, wrap and how to wrap the guides. The ones that are following directions and practicing what they've learned and asking questions, they are exceeding in class like there's no tomorrow. For instance, Lisa, her work is just beautiful. You wouldn't even know that she's only been rapping for a month. She's learning at a very fast pace, and it's because she listens to what's going on in class, listens to what components to get for her blank, and gets what we recommend to her and doesn't deviate from, components that really don't go with the blank. So she's really learning, and I wish you had a picture of it so you could show everybody, because her work is just phenomenal. I mean, she's coming super fast with this. She's getting everything. And I'm also getting ready to take my students that I see that are working with me on projects, going through me to get all their materials and stuff. And I'm going to take them to a trade show of those that want to participate. And what we're doing is I was asked to put on a huge rod building booth. It's like a huge space. And each of the students that are interested and have, put their time and work into building, have them come out, have a display area within that big booth where they can display their work. They can sell some of their rods and really start getting their foot into that door. Whether, they're wanting to do something, make some money part-time, or if they want to go full-blown into a rod building business, this really is going to give them an edge on that to be able to do that. Because as you know, in the trade shows, normally you got to spend $1,500 and up to be able to get a booth space to sell your stuff. You got to sell a lot of stuff to make up that money. And you're talking about people who are just starting out. They don't have a whole lot of money to spend on that. So they get this area in our big booth, and they don't have to pay for the booth space. And in return, they're going to, do a simple little seminar of their favorite thing they learned how to do in class. And, it's a lot of fun to showcase their stuff and give them an opportunity to excel even further and meet people that are in the industry, You know, this is a group that we all work together. If they don't want to participate in that, they can't, they don't have to, but it's really gives them an opportunity to show off their stuff, talk about what they learned, show people what they've learned, show people, you know, how to do what they learned. And as you know, in this industry, everybody's pretty much helped everybody grow with it. Thought about oh, there it is. There is Lisa's masterpiece.
Good
Beautiful.
job, Lisa.
She did awesome. That's a simple, basic, you know, diamond wrap. The colors go good together. She makes it pop, and it's a good job that she did. I was thinking of, and I will talk to the students about it, is maybe at this show that I'm getting ready to take them to, have like a small little competition between the students, and then have the spectators maybe judge and pick out what rod that they like the best, and then the student who wins gets a prize or something I've been kind of toying with. Anyhow, this is a new upcoming show that will be in April 9th through 12th. It's going to be called the California International Boat and Lifestyle Show. So there's a ton of boats going to be there. It's going to be at the Anaheim Convention Center. And like I said, I was asked to put this section together with seminar speakers. We'll have, you know, seminar speakers on different types of fishing, rod building, you know, all sorts of stuff. So it's going to be a pretty fun show to do. The other thing that I've been working on is coming up October 4th is the next 15-week course with again, we get a free rain shadow blank with it. People have been asking me about the curriculum, so I wrote down the curriculum to share here. You know, you're going to learn about the equipment and supplies you need and don't need. Kind of up the game a little bit, and been working on new materials to show about the materials of blanks, the materials of components. You learn how to choose your blanks and components for certain types of fishing rod builds. You're going to learn about power and action deflection. As you guys know, me, my dad, and everybody else are very into, you know, making sure everybody understands the power and action deflection. They're going to learn how to assemble different types of rods, learn the terminology. They're going to learn different designs, like different cross wraps, marbles. This one here that Lisa did is a cross wrap, which is the diamond wrap. You'll also learn how to fix guides, learn how to refurbish rods, and just learn, you know, various different things. And the acid wrap, which, you know, is coming up to be one of a popular thing, and really popular in some areas and new to other areas, which I find very interesting. But you get pretty much you know, step-by-step instructions. I'm there, you know, from beginning to end. Students have my number where they can call me whenever they run into problems. Can we get on Zoom? Can you walk me through this? I'm there to help everybody reach their goals. And this is a huge thing that kind of putting together for new rod builders, like I said, to, you know, get your foot in the door. So, and it's a lot of fun for them.
Can I add to that?
No.
Yeah, go ahead.
I worry Tiffany sometimes, but then I always have. Yeah. You know, there's a progression possibility here that is just really worth talking about. Tiffany has actually done this whole large booth rod wrapping thing before, and she brought people in, and they had an opportunity to talk and show people what they were doing in a seminar-like situation with some people gathered around them. And they had their own rods up, and they handed out a lot of their business cards to people who might want to have some rods built. And so, and I really hope Lisa does come to that rod of hers that you showed, when she gets that coating on it. I mean, that thing is just going to be magnificent. It's going to pop. But the progression is this class Tiffany is starting up, and she's got one going now, but the next one, it's 15-week master class from beginning to advanced, starts up October 4th, she said. And the progression can be we've learned a lot of people that take these classes, they would really like to have a, a side gig or a main hustle of building rods. And what a way to go about that. Take her classes from beginning to advance, and then join her in something like this thing that she's putting together. And then a person gets their rods out there and seen by the public and hand out a bunch of business cards, and they're in. It started. There's their path forward already begun. And
There's their real journey starting right there.
yeah, that is quite an opportunity.
So, I mean, it's just basically something that I want to help contribute to everybody that's getting into rod building. And, you know, they take the class. And so it's kind of like I got to give back to them for supporting me and coming and joining. And I like to be alongside of everybody in their rod building journey. So it's a huge opportunity for them.
Right. Absolutely. Hey, V. Hey, Lance. Hey, Andrew. Hey, I will call you later, Andrew, and talk to you about getting that guide on here for guide service to go fish with Andrew back in Baton Rouge, Louisiana. Or where is he at, John?
He is actually at Flocheville. Yep.
Flocheville? All right. I said it right.
Yep. You got it right.
Heck,
But
look at
most
me.
people can't get the names right down here.
Yeah, no kidding. Because it's too damn hot.
You got that.
It's so damn hot there. I don't know how anybody lives there. I'll tell you. I'll tell you, boy.
You don't even want to know what V calls it.
And my wife, she doesn't know why we live in Cabo either, because it's so damn hot there. It's flipping hot, but it ain't nothing compared to Louisiana. My God. I tell her all the time, I'm all, baby, you have no idea. There's way worse places than this. She goes, I don't live there.
Yeah.
But something I wanted to tell you guys about the acid wrap, Tiffany. John sent my son Riley a rod, okay? And he just got it like 3 weeks ago or something, or 2 weeks ago, whatever. And he called me up and he thought that John, the nicest man he is, John's a nice man. But hey, Dad, John screwed up this rod, and the guides are all, they don't line up just right. He didn't want to tell John, but he's all, hey, is there any way you can fix this? Because I can't fish with this thing. The guides are all twisted up. So funny, right?
Yeah. I mean, I've been on live fishing shows with a bunch of the guys, and I've had comments come in and say, "Hey, you put your rod together wrong," and then a few seconds they go, "Oh wait, it's made that way." Yeah.
It does
Not wrap his head around it. He
Yeah.
just couldn't.
Did he ever go to John and say
He couldn't
something?
figure out how to put it
No?
together.
No. No.
No. He called me up and I told him it's supposed to be that way. It's supposed to be that way. But he'd never seen an acid wrap rod. He was blown
It's
away.
all about the
And now he's got a brand new Okuma reel. He's got the Cortez 5 on there, and it's perfect. It fits it perfect. It's working great. But the acid wrap is such a bizarre deal.
yeah.
Talk for just a minute. For just a minute, Dave, because you and I, we're old school, man. That acid wrap thing, we just can't. I don't know. I can't wrap my head around it. What do you think?
Well, the first time I saw one, by the time I had seen one, I had probably worn out hundreds of rods. Okay. So the first time I saw an acid wrap, I looked at it and I thought, let me get this right. Not only are we going to bend the fibers, but we're going to twist the fibers. Oh, I can wear these out much quicker now. That was my very first thought.
Right.
Yeah.
John, do you have a rod there?
Yeah. Damn, I got one.
Put you on the
It's
spot.
all about the degrees that you wrap your guides on. It's it all flows together. But there's different ways people do the acid wrap. About the easiest way that I tell people when they're first starting is your first guide's at 0 degrees. Then your second guide, move it over 45 degrees. Third guide would be 30 degrees, and then so on until you get up to 180 degrees. So that's the simpler form of it. But again, it's just all about the placing of the guides, and then do the static testing on it, making sure that the line does not hit the blank.
Yeah, Andrew makes a good point. Takes good wrapping to make it work. And I'm thinking when you had Keller Batson in one of your classes, he did a guest lecture, we'll call it, in one of your classes, and he was going over the science involved in acid wrap, and listening to somebody like him, part of the Batson family, it was really quite entertaining, yes, because he's a fun guy, but it was really educational.
Yeah, Keller does most of the 15-week and the 18 courses. He likes to come in and do the acid wrap. So that's why I cut short, because that's like his thing. He loves doing acid wraps. He loves showing how to do it and talking about it. So I realized I was starting to go into stuff. So I kind of drew back, because I'm going to let Keller do that.
So Tiffany, here, look at John's rod. See if we can talk about this. Is this an acid
I
wrap?
only see one guide.
Hang on.
Hang on.
Yeah, turn the light on.
Yes, that's an acid wrap.
Yeah.
Very beautiful. You're making me want to go fish, John. You're not being fair to me right now.
And I like the way your placement deals with the action part of the rod.
You noticed that, huh?
Yeah.
Am I supposed to
crazy.
bite the tip? I'm like, I want to go fishing. I want to go fishing.
Yeah. Nice. Good color too.
Yeah. Beautiful. Let me see that. Yeah. Beautiful.
It's prettyful.
Beautiful. Nice. Oh, there you go.
Yeah, I got to pay extra for these when I get them.
River Cat's tackle right there.
Good job. That's beautiful.
Yeah, I got 4 different colors.
Yeah. What colors?
To me, that's the prettiest one.
The blues? Yeah,
Yeah.
blues are gorgeous. Me, I like pink too. Blues and pinks.
I haven't done one of them yet. I haven't got that color yet.
Oh,
The pink.
But
Yeah.
that is my color, pink.
Since you're a tackle store owner, John, and Tiffany and I owned a tackle shop for many years, and she would build rods for the tackle shop. And let me tell you, you start carrying pink rods and the dang thing starts selling. It works.
yeah. And believe it or not, you'd be surprised at how many fellows buy them.
Yeah.
That's surprising.
Yeah. Another thing we found out that was kind of surprising was that Tiffany would challenge herself. She always wanted to make the ugliest rod in the world. That was her challenge to herself. I'm going to do it this time. She would go to her color selections and all of that and pick out these god awful things and go, I'm going to build the ugliest rod in the world.
But
And it'd be the fastest thing to sell in the shop when she was done.
Yeah.
She would always sell it to the person, and then she'd feel like, I failed.
Yeah.
things that I like to do after building a rod is for somebody is like for the pink, they've got like, if it's a surf rod, there's like the Lucky Craft 110 Flash Minnow that has like the pink and the white, design on it. I'll put that on the surf rod that's, at the shows and stuff to where it sells together. And I can't count how many people come up to the rod and then they're shocked when they see a Lucky Craft with it. And they're like, does this go together or is this separate? I'm like, yep, you buy that rod, you get that too. I mean, there's so many different ways that different, just color themes, putting them together is a hot ticket for selling rods.
All true, all true. I'm thinking too, the reel seat. Reel seats to me are always a fascinating part of picking out everything that you want to build a rod. And I've seen a lot of reel seats that I didn't think belonged on that rod. And to start with, do you need a reel seat? I mean, there's a deckhand style, which is no reel seat at all. Most of the time, not all the time, it's tuna cord, spiral wrapped all the way up for the whole length of the rear grip and where the reel seat would be in the foregrip, and then you put the reel anywhere you want on there, and it can be moved. And it's called a deckhand style because I think it started that way because on a party boat, open party fishing boat, you have deckhands and they might be trading the rod back and forth. Whoever's got a little free time right now or needs to show somebody something, or maybe it's just a crew trip. And you got one deckhand that's this, 5'6", 14-year-old guy that last year he was a pinhead. Now he's made it to junior deckhand, and then you've also got that 6'4" deckhand, the young man, and the length of their forearms are totally different. And Tiffany always measures people from the back of their elbow to the middle of their palm. That's where they want that reel seat, so that the rod is on the elbow. The elbow can help with the leverage of moving that rod, and the hand rests right on there. And for those different length forearms, that can just be moved. And when you put a reel seat on a reel, on a rod, you lose that. Yeah, exactly. John's showing it. He's got this. And you lose that when you put a reel seat on there. So to me, putting a reel seat on there is really, that rod is now made for one person, or maybe the next person if their forearm happens to be the same length as that person. Everybody else is going to be kind of a mismatch. But the other things I see about reel seats are somebody's building a light casting rod. It's 8.5 feet long, and it's up to 20 pounds, and they're going to sling swim baits from a boat to the boiler rocks at the islands, and they're going to make these monster casts all day long, and they're going to make hundreds of casts today. And then I see them get this big, heavy looking metal reel seat to go on there. And I'm thinking, that's not really quite the best reel seat you could put on there. Or I'll see somebody building this thing that they're going to be casting to much, much bigger fish. And they have this little, very lightweight graphite reel seat. And I'm thinking, that's not going to last very long. And so really, when it comes to reel seats, here's where I really like to ask people, tell me about what fishing you're going to do with this rod. Then we can pick the right reel seat for you, and guides and everything else, of course, but especially reel seats. And if they tell me, well, I want this rod to do a little bit of everything, then I say, when was the last time you saw a golfer go out with one club in their sack?
I was just gonna say that too, Andrew.
Do everything, and that one rod isn't going to do everything in a fishing day either. So rods have to be built by what they're going to be used for, like any other tool. And that's my rant on reel seats. Thanks for listening.
So there you go. There's another reel seat. That's a smaller. That's got the pistol
is-
grip.
This is what we consider a bumping rod. It's full carbon, and it's 6.9 ounces.
Whew, nice. Okay.
6.9 ounces, and we've deadlifted 60 pounds off the ground with it.
Whew,
Super
that's
strong,
impressive.
super strong, but light.
Yeah.
Real light. Because them guys are doing this all day.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
And with it being light, and if you notice, that's a little different length.
A little longer.
Because most of the guys that's doing it got bigger arms than me.
Okay.
So, but yeah, we got all kind of styles. There's all kinds of ways you can do them. And it's 46T carbon. But I mean, there's all kinds of ways and setups you can do. Now let me ask you this: how many rods have you seen that was E-glass, S-glass, carbon, graphite, and Torre all in one?
None.
But I say,
I
Tiffany.
haven't seen any. I mean, it's either going to be like an RX6, an RX9, an RX8, many different, materials, or you have mostly like fiberglass or fiber,
yeah,
all sorts of different stuff. But to have one that's
got
got
it all.
pretty much
All
everything
of it.
on it, yeah, I haven't seen a manufacturer do it yet.
You know what I call it? Bullshit. Bottom line.
Can you fish with bullshit?
If you're willing to put up with the smell.
Yeah, right.
But
Now that would be one heck of a
That's what I'm
composite
saying.
rod, wouldn't it?
Yeah.
you got a lot of guys at companies that's building rods, they're getting rods done, and they try to make it sound more than what it actually is to produce more sales.
Yeah.
Me, I'm gonna tell you what it is, whether it's S glass or W2 glass or
E-glass or
E-glass,
graphite, solid glass, RX7, RX6, everything. Yeah.
why lie to somebody and tell them it is something that it ain't? Because when something goes south with that rod, they're going to be like, oh, whoa, wait, you said it was this. I don't have that problem because I'm going to tell them what it's made of.
Yeah.
Straight up. And therefore, if there is an issue, there's not going to be any problems behind it because it is what it's made of.
Whether it's a heavy duty type blank, like a solid glass, or, trying to use it as a workhorse if it's not a workhorse. All sorts of different things you look at when it comes into blanks, but you're absolutely right with it. Somebody over here asked me what my favorite
that's tank
what my favorite to work with for rod blanks. Well, like my dad said, I really don't have much of a favorite as far as material goes, because it's like a golf club. You can't go golfing with one club. You've got a series of different things. I mean, if it's a workhorse type thing, then I'm more into the RX6. And the RX6 is what I refer to as a workhorse. It basically has the standard modulus material that has been revised recently with enhanced fibers designed with their improved resin system, is what it's explained to me. other materials sitting above that are also based on the best fibers. But one of the key things that people don't understand is the higher the number the RX gets, the more brittle it gets. So as far as like an RX6 graphite, I like working with that, but I do also for other applications, like to work with the RX4, for instance. It's all about the matrix to me. So, I mean, it just all depends on what I'm doing, what I'm building. You know, if it's going to be something for trout or bass, it's going to be, you know, one type. If it's going to be, if I'm going to go tuna fishing, maybe hopefully next season I can do that, but I'm going to build it on a different blank. So it just, there's all sorts of different factors that, you know, I go into before I'm going to be building a certain blank for a certain type of fishing. Does that make sense?
Yeah, you do most of your rods. The blanks are going species specific.
Right.
You know, and that's common in all custom rod builders.
Yeah.
You know, because about 14 years ago when I had my first acid wrap done, the rod builder was like, well, here we go. What you doing it for? I'm like, catfish. And he's like, now you're going to make it hard. Well, that's what I want it for. This is how I want it to react. And of course, I mean, he got it. He knew what to do with it. He just wanted to give me smack. But yeah, it does. To me, it makes a world of difference in the way the fish is. You can handle the fish with an acid wrap.
Yeah. I mean, there's all sorts of different things.
I kind of tend to have some faith in certain rod blank manufacturers too. I mean, there's that comfort feel when you have the fish of your dreams on there and you're getting ready to deal with it, and you got to win that contest. So if I know that my blank is made by somebody I believe in, it just gives me that confidence level. So some of them I really believe in Batson blanks.
Yeah.
The bacon sticks, my signature series, the Tiffany builds is built on a rain shadow blank, and I like Seeker and a couple other manufacturers as well. But those two are two of my top ones. And speaking of the bacon sticks, I was cracking up here because someplace long back in the messages now, Lisa was putting a message to me on there, and she put she found an icon that's a strip of bacon, and I was thinking the bacon sticks. I was toying for a while with the idea of asking Tiffany to do a weave on there that looked like a cooked strip of bacon. You know, I thought that'd be appropriate for bacon sticks. You know, so thanks for the chuckle, Lisa.
And Andrew, just so you know, Tiffany was she's one of the 10 best rod builders in the world. So she's been rated. She has that as something to stand up behind, even though she likes to play like she's not. She's like 10 best in the world. She knows her stuff inside and out, gang. You're not going to find anybody. And to teach a class, and in a month, someone who's never wrapped a rod before is already wrapping diamond wrapped. I'm sorry. There's a lot to say about that.
Yeah. And
Going back over the material parts that we were talking about, I have in the day one of the rod building classes, this is something that is so important for people that are learning how to rod build, getting into it, to know what the materials are. The RX4s, RX6, 8s, 10s, the whole 9 yards, all the materials where it's graphite, glass, S-glass, they learn about what the materials are. They learn about, like I said before, the power and action, but we have a whole segment on blanks and what they're made of, and then it goes into the guides, what they're made of. Rod builders really need to know what they're building. Hi!
What's happening?
Hi, Matt. Hi, Matt. Hi, Matt. We're going fishing. We're going fishing in 4 minutes. So
Yeah,
he's
that's
got
like
his
Dave.
mind up.
That's like Dave was saying about trusting the blank that you got.
What's up, John?
What's up? If
There's
you
Matt
saw
Ryan.
if you saw some of the things that we've done with our rods to prove it, you'd be like, "Oh no!" I mean, I mean, hey, you want a strong rod? You're gonna have to put that blank to the full test.
Yeah. You mentioned
And
deadlifting 60 pounds with a 9-ounce blank.
yeah, we use that weight for all our rod blanks. All the rods we do, it goes straight to the test.
Nice.
And we don't do it once. We'll do it over and over and over. I've had them on the acid wrap rods, and I've had the weight up in the air and bouncing it. I mean,
Wow.
I want to know if it's going to break.
So that gives you that
Right.
faith we were talking about. You
You
know
know,
you
I mean,
can trust
we
that
do.
blank.
That's like when we at a show, we do a pull test and we let people hold it, and we'll put that pull on it, and they like, well, what happens if you break it? Well, if it breaks, we know where the problem is. We can solve the problem.
Yeah,
They like, well, we never thought of it that way.
good point.
So that's what we do. You got to test it. Hey,
So,
Dave,
Captain
you read
Dave,
the book?
what is your fishing plan here coming up?
Are you
Dave?
talking to me?
Yeah, yeah.
Okay, well, I'm up here in Southern California. I'm War Heroes on Water starting on Saturday. Today I'm going fishing outside of Newport Harbor to the Boiler Rocks. Going to go show this young feller how to catch calico bass, and we're going to fish the Boiler Rocks right in front of Newport. And then tomorrow morning, Justin and I are taking this big Viking that I'm on right now, and he's going to drive it up to Long Beach. We're going to go get some squid so we can fish the War Heroes on Water. And then Saturday, we're going to pick up our War Heroes at about 3:30 in the afternoon, and we're going to go fishing for 3 days. There's 50 yachts in this. Some of the nicest boats in the world are out fishing in this thing, and we go out fishing for 3 days with our War Heroes, our veterans, our war-tested veterans, and we're going to go out. I've been a part of this for the 8 years it's been going, and it means the most to me as an individual to give back to these men and women who have given every single thing, and all I've done is show up. All I do is show up every single day, and I've been blessed. So the least I can do is give back to these men and women. So I'm going to give my time, and we're going to go out and have a blast. I don't know what we're going to catch, but I know we're going to catch a lot of them.
Yeah.
And you're going to have fun and you're going to do good things. And, you know,
Yeah.
you get no sympathy for this. You're going to have a blast. You know?
I don't want any.
But go you. You're doing good things there.
I
Oh,
don't want any sympathy. I'm going to go have fun.
You
Hey,
can send me
Dave.
pictures too, right?
Oh
You'll send
yeah,
me
we're going to
pictures
be
of the
live.
fish.
We're going to
Okay,
be
I'll be
going
on.
live. Go, John.
Hey, Dave, on our last show that we went and done in Memphis,
Yes.
guess what just so happened to find us?
I have no idea.
Another Down syndrome.
Oh, really?
Yep.
Oh my gosh. And you made
And
his day.
what you think we done?
You gave him all your stuff. You gave him
Pretty
rod,
much.
reel,
Pretty
teeth,
much.
hats.
But by the time we was done, he didn't want to leave, and he wanted to hang out and stay under the tent, and so we just let him hang out. That's what we do.
Absolutely. You know what I can't, like, I think about this all the time, Dave Bacon and John and Tiffany. Why do you want to take away something that is so pure and so good and it brings so much joy to so many people's lives? Why does America want to stop Americans from fishing? It just doesn't make any sense to me. What we do is we save people's lives every day by taking them fishing, and we bring so much joy to people's hearts. And to think that they want to stop us from fishing, it's just absolutely incredible. And I'll do everything just like Dave and John and Tiffany to make sure that we still can fish until the day I die anyway.
Yeah.
Until or after?
Well, we've all got to work in this together, you know, work with Coastal Conservation Association and other organizations, and just, you know, be advocates and support advocates.
And that's why I think it's so important to bring people like John in here and Dave and Tiffany, just because we can see so many different aspects of this thing. And tomorrow we're bringing in a guide from Florida. He's going to be our guest tomorrow on the show. And I'm just trying to make sure that everybody understands that fishing we're not the enemy. Fishermen are not the enemy. We are actually the cure. So I got to get going, though. I'm going fishing. I love all of you. Thank you very, very much. Thank you guys for watching the show today. Have a great day. I'm going to tell you all thank you very much, but I'm out of here. Bye.
Okay. Thank you, Dave. And John.